Hi folks, how you doing? Russell, TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Put in the healing back in health. Once again, when you're at the website, sign up for the free newsletter, free gifts button, setting goals, supplementation, nutrition, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, True Results. There's no E. Remember that, no E. Podcast True Results 303, no E. All podcast players that should be there. Coming at you today with a video on why I criticize you, why people criticize me, why we need to criticize. Right? I know, if you follow my station or my channel, I am Catholic Christian. You shouldn't judge. I was just reading Corinthians today. I wish I had my Bible by me. I think it's up there. And that was Corinthians 1, 5, 12-ish, 6, 12-ish, somewhere in there. And that's where Paul was talking about you should judge those within the community. You know what I mean? It said something about, you heard it said, don't eat with the, don't hang around with the idolaters, da-da-da-da. But then you would have to leave this world because we're all sinners. But I tell you, make sure you judge your community within you. Within your community, those within your community. Those are the ones that you are going to be conversating and you're going to be around them for a majority of your time. So we need to make sure, that the influences you surround yourself with are positive. So you judge them. If you're on the same page, good. If you're not, you need to eliminate it. It's that same concept of, sometimes you outgrow your friendships. Sometimes those people aren't the right people to be around, so you just need to be alone sometimes. But why do we criticize? And I mentioned this before in another video, and it might have been the same concept. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago. But my niece was on Facebook, and she was like, I don't know why everybody's got to always tell me what I'm doing wrong and this and that. Blah, blah. And I had a conversation with one of my clients the other day, Catholic man. I think he tries to, what's the word I'm looking for? I think he just tries to get me to kind of argue with him. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out the word. I can't think of the word right now that I'm instigate. He kind of instigates the conversation, because I always tell him I'm going to follow the teachings of the church 100%. He's not on that. He's not on that level, but he's also a politician. So in my opinion, he can't really go the Catholic route, especially since he's a Democrat, because if he did, he would lose a lot of his voting base, and then he wouldn't be able to get reelected, in my opinion. I got my whole own political concepts. I'll just put it out there real quick. I think they try to divide us. A house divided amongst itself will fall. Right? So I think I've said this before as well. I think Republicans try to take more of the Christian aspects, and then of course Democrats try to take more of the social aspects of helping those in need and this and that. So if they can divide us that way between spiritual beliefs and social beliefs, if they can divide us, then we are conquered no matter what. That's why you'll never see a Democrat be, a majority of the time, you'll never see a Democrat be pro-life, against abortion, because that's what we're thinking over here. And if we can find that middle ground, then we'll be great. But they're never going to do it, because if they do that, then we'll unite as a people as a whole, and they don't want that to happen. But anyways, so she was saying that, and I had this conversation with him, and I told him I have no problem with my niece, my future child, making these mistakes. I have no problem with you making mistakes. Please make mistakes. But don't make the mistakes I've made. I'm going to be angry at you if you make the mistakes I've made. You know what I mean? That's just unacceptable. That's what they say. A wise man, there's something about making mistakes, but a wise man doesn't make the mistakes that he sees someone else make. And then I think this also comes down to the point to where we as parents, we as role models, need to be able to share our difficulties and our troubles in life, because if we don't, then how are they going to know what mistakes not to make? You want to act like you're perfect around your children when you're not. You know what I mean? You want to sound like you're perfect around whoever when you're not. You're flawed. We're sinners. We're stained. but we can, we can overcome these things. But if you're not honest about your struggles in life, you're not really helping anybody. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you're always honest. So then your children most likely won't make those mistakes. And if they're making a mistake that you never made, it's like, man, I never even thought of doing that. As long as it's something that they pursued something for the greater good, though. We've also got to understand that. It's always for the greater good, right? It's not that, hey, I just made another video, so I'll use that as an example. Oh, it's not that I never bought a term paper for my college course online, so it's okay that she did that. No, that is just wrong in general. You know what I mean? But it'd be the concept of maybe they want to start their own business and you've never decided to do that. So if they're making silly financial mistakes or marketing mistakes or whatever mistakes you can make when trying to start your own business, you can't be upset with them. Like, why would you do that? You never ventured down that road. So you can't be upset when they're making mistakes on something really great to expand their minds. It'd be the equivalent, I guess you could say, if I had a child and they didn't want to be Catholic. For me it was just secular world, and then I dabbled a little bit in, Eastern philosophy. But for me, I was just like, why am I even dabbling in Eastern philosophy when Catholicism is rooted within my family and Christianity? So I'm going to go here and see what's going on. I wasn't just going to... I know a lot of those people will say, when their parents tell them to do something, they always want to do the opposite. My mother always wanted me to go to church. I just said no, or I didn't go, or I went once a month, whatever. But for me, it was, I'm going to give it a try. But I think, once again, that's also a sign of maturity when you're no longer seeing the advice of those around you as an attack, or that they are forcing you to do something. You've got to understand that if it worked for me, it could possibly work for you. It's not always like that, but it can. So don't get upset when people are trying to push or give you the advice of trying what they're trying. And I just had a concept that I wanted to get, but it popped out when I was saying that last little bit. And it was very valuable, so I hope I can remember it again. It had to do with, let's see, we're talking about making your own mistakes. I skipped my mind. But once again, that's what it was. It's the same thing with the church, right? If you watch I had a video called The Conversation I Had with a Gay Man. Yeah, and we talked seriously for like 2 hours about, maybe an hour or two about spirituality, Christianity, secular life. I didn't use the secular life, but, the whole concept. And like I said, I think what was best, though, was that... Sorry, I'm getting a text message. My client stood me up this morning, calling me at like 3 in the morning, messaging me saying he wasn't going to make our workout today. But once again, I think that's why everybody thinks that Christians are so bad, or they don't want to be around a Christian, because we don't want to talk about our faults. You know what I mean? We don't want to talk about our faults. You don't want to talk about why your struggles and your stories. My mother said she read a book. I think it was St. Augustine's Confessions. I think it's St. Augustine's Confessions. Or no, it wasn't even St. Augustine. It was someone else. Some other saint. The Confessions of, and I think it was a lady. And my mom said, everybody told me I should read this, and it's such a great book, and it's so crazy what she's been through to where she went. My mother read it, and she's like, dang, personally, I think my life was like 10 times worse than that. I've done way worse things than anything that was in that book. But those are the things that we need. Get another text message. My workout buddy's canceling on me now. But that's what we need to do. Tell your struggles, what you've been through, what you did to overcome it. If we're not going to talk about it, how are we going to change people's lives? You know what I mean? You got to be honest. And if we're not honest, why even talk? You know what I mean? So, there it is. That's why I criticize. I went way off subject, I think, here, but that's why I criticize. Why? Because I don't want you to make the mistakes I'm making. If you're making those mistakes, then you dang right I'm going to be upset with that. That's not going to fly. But if you're out there venturing off on new paths, more power to you, It's like they say, Lecrae says in one of his videos, the first one to lead is the first one to make big mistakes. The first one to get criticized, the first one to something, you know. So, once again, I hope this video helps you. I hope it gives you food for thought, whether you're a parent, whether you're just trying to be a leader in any aspect of your life. I hope it's helping you, and I hope it's going to help you to open up and, you know, truly be a leader and truly get to where you need to be in life, because that's what it's about. So, hope that helps. Don't forget to check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, True Results 303 podcast, True Results 303. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that share and like button. Post it to your Facebook page, your Twitter. Please help me out here. Let me get some views. All right? So, share and like these videos.